Welcome to St. Lucie Public Schools Transportation Department, Employee Training and Development.
Reporting incidents. The purpose of this training is to define the proper steps for reporting weapons, drugs, physical fights, and inappropriate sexual behavior on your bus. There has been an increase in these types of incidents, placing both students and employees at greater risk. It is critical that all concerns are reported immediately so appropriate action can be taken. Remember, if you see or hear something, say something. For obvious reasons, weapons, drugs, and alcohol are strictly prohibited on all school property, and that includes school buses. Any of these can pose a serious threat to safety. You must report any of the following: weapons, drugs or alcohol, fights, sexual activity, bullying, and really anything that threatens the safety of you, your students, and the community. You have an obligation to ensure the safety of all students. Proper reporting protects students, staff, and the community. It creates documentation, supports investigations, and most importantly, covers you professionally. Your responsibility is to stay alert, be aware, protect, and report. All employees of St. Lucie Public Schools by Florida statute are considered mandatory reporters for child abuse or neglect. This is School Board Policy 5.37, and it reinforces adherence to the statute. Immediately upon management and administration being notified of any inappropriate sexual activity, weapons, or drug-related incident on board our buses, we must take proper steps to file a formal report to DCF. Incident reports are needed to ensure all situations are properly documented, reviewed, and addressed. Accurate reporting helps us protect student and staff safety, maintain accountability, identify patterns or concerns, and provide the necessary information for follow-up actions or investigations. It also ensures we are compliant with district policies and able to support decisions with clear, factual documentation. Incident reports should be filled out immediately upon returning to your compound. Written clearly so we can read it, completed in full, and turned into your manager immediately. We often get radio calls from drivers asking us to pull videos. Please do not radio into dispatch or management to pull a video. Come in and fill out an incident report. We will not pull videos by a verbal request. The most common and known types of weapons are guns and knives, and they come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. If you suspect a weapon is on your bus, report it immediately by radioing into security. The signal to call in a weapon is Signal 0. Quietly advise there is a possible Signal 0 on your bus. Never announce weapon over the air. Always use the signal. Signals are used to alert staff without causing panic or chaos. Follow all instructions given by security or law enforcement, and always complete an incident report upon your return to the compound. Be sure to cover yourself. There are so many types of drugs and alcohol, and some can be hard to identify. Be aware of your bus activity. If you suspect drugs or alcohol are on your bus, report it immediately by radioing into security. The signal to call in drugs or alcohol is Signal 57. Quietly advise there is possible signal 57 on your bus. Do not announce the event over the air. Always use the signal. Signals are used to alert staff without causing panic or chaos. Follow all instructions given by security or law enforcement. And always complete an incident report upon your return to the compound. Be sure to cover yourself. A school bus is no stranger to physical fights, and this can happen on any bus. A fight on your bus can endanger other students and yourself. Stay alert and stay safe. There are two ways to handle physical fights on a bus. Are the students still actively fighting? If yes, stop the bus and intervene safely. Call security by using signal 36 and follow their instructions. And of course, complete the referral and the incident report the same day. If the students are not still actively fighting, if it's in the AM, turn them over to administrator when you arrive at the school. And if it's in the PM, proceed to deliver. And of course, complete the referral and the incident report the same day. The only exception to this is if the fight has stopped but rescue is needed, radio into dispatch for assistance. Otherwise, you may just proceed on. Reasonable force policy. Staff may use reasonable force only to stop an immediate safety threat. The key guidelines to remember is use only the minimum force necessary. It must not be excessive, cruel, or disproportionate. Use force only as long as needed to prevent harm. Never restrict breathing. Never force a limb or joint unnaturally. Bottom line, protect safety, use the least force possible, and stop as soon as the threat is over. For more information on the reasonable force policy, visit the SLPS website and access and view Board Policy 3.44. Unfortunately, inappropriate sexual acts occur on our buses. Any sexual activity on school buses is strictly prohibited, regardless of whether students appear willing or not. This behavior creates serious safety, legal, and liability concerns and will not be tolerated. Bottom line, do not ignore it. Act, intervene, and report it every time. The signal to call in sexual activity is signal 43. If you suspect sexual activity is occurring on your bus, you must intervene. Quietly advise there is a possible signal 43 on your bus. Do not announce the event over the air. Always use the signal. Signals are used to alert staff without causing panic or chaos. Follow any instructions given by security or law enforcement. And of course, complete an incident report upon your return to the compound. Be sure to cover yourself. Reporting bullying. Bullying isn't always obvious. It can be verbal, such as name calling or teasing. Physical, if it's hitting, pushing, or tripping. Social, if it's exclusion, spreading rumors, or intimidation. Or a spillover from cyber, such as issues from social media carried onto the bus. Specifically on our buses, it occurs in the back seats, blind spots, and during loading and unloading. Students may whisper, pass notes, or use gestures to avoid detection, and often involves repeated targeting of the same student. The action required is stop the behavior immediately, report the incident upon arrival to the school, and as always, complete your paperwork. You must intervene to stop bullying. Here are some warning signs to look for. Student suddenly becomes quiet, withdrawn, or anxious. He may refuse to ride the bus, or his behavior changes on the bus. Frequent complaints about certain students. Unexplained injuries or damaged belongings. Other students laughing, recording, or encouraging behavior. A student being isolated or consistently picked on. Stay alert, intervene, report, and protect every student. There is a separate form to report bullying as opposed to writing a referral on a student. These forms are available at all compounds, and if you have any questions, always reach out to your area manager. Remember, you must intervene bullying. The school board does not tolerate acts of bullying or harassment, including bullying or harassment based on disability. Bullying means systematically and chronically inflicting physical hurt or psychological distress on one or more students or employees. St. Lucie Public Schools is a bully-free zone. Remember, failure to report an incident can potentially result in disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. Stay alert and stay aware. Know your students and know your bus. And always report. In case you missed it, let's review. Failure to report incidents can endanger students and staff, and sometimes the community. Always intervene when safe. If you suspect weapons, report it immediately to security by using Signal 0. Report any drugs or alcohol immediately to security by using Signal 57. If there is still an active fight happening on your bus, report it to security using Signal 36. Report inappropriate sexual activity on your bus immediately using Signal 43. Always be aware of bullying and intervene immediately. Make sure you are completing your incident reports the same day, including any referrals needed. And bottom line, if you see or hear something, say something. You have an obligation to protect the students. All staff will be held accountable to meet all the expectations set forth by the transportation management team. Failure to meet these expectations may result in disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. Thank you. Your training is now complete. If you have any questions, please see your direct manager. You may now proceed to the quiz.